Dear members, I invite you to the presentation on project management. Project refers to a series of related jobs usually directed towards some major output and requiring a significant period of time. Projects require a wide variety of tasks or activities, some of which can be performed concurrently and others consecutively. They usually have tight time and budget limits. Project scheduling. You can schedule a project using tables, bar charts, or even networks. A Gantt chart is a bar chart along the time axis that illustrates the planned starting and completion times for each task. Once the project tasks, precedence relationships, and time estimates are known, the next stage is to use them to devise a schedule. The schedule may be like we have here. It has tasks, it has predecessors and performance time. In this case, weeks. Task like A doesn't depend on any other task, it is the beginning task. So is B. These tasks start. And so they don't depend on prior completion of other tasks. But C depends on prior completion of B. I.e. C cannot start unless B has been completed. When you look at D depends on prior completion of A and C, i.e. A and C are predecessors. We could also say that task D uses inputs from A and C, so there's no way it can start before A and C have been completed. And so it goes through up to J, the last task which completes the project. So from this table, we can construct a bar chart. And a bar chart has time on the horizontal axis. This becomes a Gantt chart. Like we see the activities, like A begins from 0 up to the end of the third week. B from 0 up to week 5. So a Gantt chart is actually a timeline. It shows the beginning and completion times of tasks and ultimately the entire project. These charts have got merits, and of course you could have demerits. They are simple to construct. They show clear start and finish times. They are good for displaying milestones and comparing actual and planned progress. They are good for grouping similar tasks and also good for smaller projects. However, they have shortcomings, as we can see below. One is not able to see the relationships among the tasks. They do not help determine critical tasks. We shall explain what critical is. They provide no help in relocating resources amongst tasks. They are extremely difficult to draw if the project has hundreds of tasks. So for big projects, it becomes a nightmare. And for that matter, we now devise network-based methods. Project network analysis. A network helps visualize the interrelationships of a project requiring completion of several interrelated tasks. They provide a structure in which to present both concurrent and consecutive tasks. They provide a valuable aid to the monitoring and control of projects. Networks are mathematical structures made up of two parts, namely nodes and arcs. Nodes can be in shape of circles or they can be in form of rectangles. They represent activities and connected to each other by arrows and arcs. arcs show precedence relationships and hence workflow. Network path. A network diagram enables you to follow a sequence of activities called a path through the network from start to end. The length of time it takes to follow the path is the sum of all the duration of activities on that path. And the path with the longest duration gives the project completion time and is called the critical path. Critical path, because any change in duration of activities on this path will change the whole project duration. It's critical. Any change in time along the critical path will mean change in the entire project completion time. Activities on the critical path are known as critical activities. They have slack or float time equals 0. We shall also explain float. Activities not on the critical path have a certain amount of slack, i.e. time for which the activities can be delayed or the duration lengthened without affecting the overall project duration. Why must management of a project focus greatly on ensuring that tasks on the critical path remain within schedule? Why would the project manager be concerned about meeting the project completion time? How does failure to control the CP activities affect both the contractor and the contractee? These are important discussion questions. The interiors show you how critical the critical path or critical activities indeed are. So there are two kinds of networks. We can have A or N, simply activity on the node and then activity on the arc. Activity on the node, where nodes represent activities and then uses arrows to generate, to designate precedence relationships. Then the activity can be activity on the arrow. Another kind of network can be activity on the arrow or activity on the arc, A or A, where arrows represent activities or tasks, and the nodes this time are events and represent points in time at which one or more tasks start or finish.